Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video to remind you of a hardware CTF that will be starting soon. I just quickly want to introduce what this hardware CTF is, what it is about, and then I will tell you about the details for how the registration process works. And basically you just have to keep the deadline, the 28th of August, in mind for the qualification phase. So RHme3 is a hardware security company. So they offer products and services to do hardware attacks. For example, extracting cryptographic keys from chips, and so you can like consult them for your own design, for example, if it's secure. And they made already 2 hardware capture the flag competitions before, and this is now the 3rd installment. And currently the registration is still open. That's why I'm making this video, to encourage you to register and participate. So what is the CTF about? Let's have a look at last round where I participated in, so you get an idea what the CTF is and what are the requirements for it. So if you go to the playlists tab on YouTube, there is a playlist called RHme3 Hardware CTF, or you also find it on my website up here under CTFs. There's the RHme3 Embedded Hardware CTF. And I made quite a lot of write-ups of the hardware challenges that I've solved. And it all started with them having sent you an Arduino Nano board. It was like a Nano clone from China, but it had a custom bootloader on it, which encrypts the challenges, and you would then log in and you would select the challenge, you would load it onto the board, and then you solve it. And there were ponables where you had to find buffer overflows, for example, but there were other challenges as well where you just had to interact with the board, and you had to program a custom microcontroller to communicate with that Arduino board, or you had to use an oscilloscope or logic analyzers to, learn what a certain implementation wants to do, and somehow you have to find flags. And so let's have a quick look what kind of challenges were there. So for example, obviously our very first step was to establish a serial connection. That's a very common protocol to interact with a hardware device. And then I went on just like solving the challenges. For example, there were crypto challenges, and so we performed a SHA-1 length extension attack in one of these challenges. Or there was a reversing challenge, like a kind of like a crack me challenge, where I had to reverse engineer a lot of AVR, and I ended up scripting Radare to be able to solve this. So if you see, there's a lot of crossover with regular reverse engineering as well. It's just a different architecture in this case. Then there were challenges where you didn't have the binary, but you just kind of like blindly tried to exploit something. You noticed weird behavior when you were interacting over a serial console with it. And there were also challenges that included real hardware side channel attacks. So for example, I actually had to solder and modify the board in order to take measurements with an attack board called the Chip Whisperer, which I learned from university, to perform a power side channel analysis attack. So these are the kind of challenges, and it was a lot of fun, and there's a great community on IRC as well. So in the 3rd installment now, it's under the theme of an automotive challenge. So I suspect we will see things like CAN bus or similar things that would remind you of automotive. And the reason for that is also that in this case, RHme3 has teamed up with Argus. It's great that another company teamed up here to organize this. So let's have a quick look at what now the 3rd round is about and what you have to do to participate. So the registration opened a while ago, and it does close on the 28th of August, so that is soon. That's why I kind of rush out this video without much editing and just do a rough voiceover here. There are 3 challenges, and you have to find 1, 2, or 3 of these flags and submit them. And if you submitted them until the deadline and you belong to the top 500 participants, then they will send you a custom board that they design for this CTF. Let's quickly go to Twitter, because they posted here a prototype. So this is kind of what the board will probably look like, and we might want to analyze this already a bit, what kind of controllers are on here. I haven't looked at it yet, but I guess that's it, Mega, and that's definitely this USB to serial converter. But what these here are, I don't know. So we will figure that out. And then again, pins, and yeah. So this will be fun. And so is it still realistic that you could be one of these 500 participants? So let's look at the scoreboard right now. And there are a lot of people registered. So it works right now is that you sign up as an individual person and you do these challenges, but later you can form teams of multiple people. And so if you can see, like, all 3 challenges were solved currently by 109 people. And then you see that up until the 180th point, there were 2 solved. And then there are a bunch of people that's only solved 1 challenge. And we are at 275. So it's very, very likely that when you are only able to solve 1 challenge, that you can still qualify for this, because there's quite a lot of space still until the 500th place. So let's have a quick look at the challenges. There are currently 3 qualifying challenges available. Each gives 1 point, and that's the white box unboxing, the tracing, the traces, and exploitation. As you can see, I've currently only solved 2 of the 3 challenges. So which one would I recommend you to tackle if you are interested in participating? I would suggest you go with exploitation. At least this one was a much easier one than white box for me. And with a lot of my videos on my channel, if you kind of are familiar with the basics of exploitation that you can find in CTF write-ups on my channel, you will have a fairly easy time with this one. So that was a quite very comfortable challenge. Whiteboxing, on the other hand, does require some crypto knowledge, but a lot of the people who solved it used tools that other people have implemented and don't really quite understand how it worked. And I have to admit that I'm one of them. After many days of frustrated and almost rage quitting and getting burned out from this challenge, I decided to screw it. And tracing the tracer I haven't looked at yet. I have no clue, but it's about a power trace you have to analyze. There's a deadline for the CTF on the 28th of August. The first 500 participants get a free board. If you look in the challenges, they are doable. They take a bit of time, and you should get on it if you still want to solve it. But if you manage to solve at least 1, it's very likely that you still belong to one of the 500 people who can get a board. And then you can see. Like I said, a little bit of hardware is required, a lot of time is required to participate, but it's a lot of fun. And if you have an interest and maybe a little bit of basic knowledge with Arduinos and programming Arduinos and how to make an LED blink and stuff like this, then I think you might be able to have some fun here and learn something. Anyways, thank you very much. Well, that's it. I hope I will see you at the CTF. I will be on the IRC a lot of the times as well. I'm looking forward to chat with people and to learn a lot of new things. And thanks for Rescue for organizing another round of this amazing CTF. I really hope it's a success for them again, so that they will do this more in the future.